Okay, thanks, guys. Look, I've read your submissions, and what seems to be overlooked in a lot of the submissions is a lot of this debt is whether or not, the question needs to be asked is whether or not it's intercompany debt, because the withholding tax rate on all of this interest that's paid offshore or incurred, you can get a 30-cent tax deduction for it here, and then you go back and pay your head office the interest. And because of the withholding tax structures, depending on the company, the withholding tax rate may be well less than 30 cents. So I guess my issue with looking at just the issues around the thin cap rules is that we're not looking at the entirety of the withholding tax structure as well. And I'm curious as to why the CPAs and the chartered accountants haven't picked up on that.
I'm happy to have a stab at that. I mean, the withholding tax regime in Australia is international practice. Yeah, there is a 30%, technically a 30% withholding tax on any interest paid to any offshore affiliate, subject to treaties, and treaties can reduce that to 10%.
Right. Yep.
But that's an international standard. So if you're suggesting we need to move away from an international standard, then that's probably another conversation. But
well, it is part of the conversation that has to be had in context of the thin cap rules, because the onshore tax rate is 30 cents and the offshore tax rate for many treaties, and I'm sure you're well aware of 128B, public offer test, is between 0 and 15. So that creates an arbitrage between onshore profits and offshore profits. Do you not agree with that?
It's a withholding tax. It very much depends on the underlying tax rate in the foreign jurisdiction, yeah? If the underlying tax rate is 30%,
so it becomes a cumulative rate of tax. But you're not looking at that, and you're saying we've got to attract foreign investment. I would argue that we actually need to attract domestic equity investment so that we retain profits onshore, because if we just let this tax act continue to go the way it is, we'll end up selling all our assets to foreign investors because of the tax arbitrage structure.
I'll just get a final response there to your question, Senator Rennick, from Mr. Sapri.
I don't really know much more I can add, Senator, to what I've already said. I mean, it's international best practice. 10% rate can apply. If we want to change from that, then fine. But I think that's not the conversation for the thin cap regime.
I don't see how having an onshore tax rate is best practice and foreigners paying less tax. It's not best practice.
Thank you, Senator Rennick.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.